Testing. What is going on, my peeps? Your boy Versatile is back after hours, partially back with another video for you guys. Yes, this is Versatile After Hours episode 20.5. Yes, any half episode that drops the week before or before the actual weekly podcast is considered a half episode, and this will not be on the audio podcast. This is just on YouTube. What are we getting into today? Well, first, I need to learn how to talk because I'm stumbling over words. But we're getting into some top weekly news that has already started. See, look, I can't talk. We're getting into some weekly news that has already dropped Monday. And the first thing we're going to talk about is gaming news, and that will be Crash 4. Crash Bandicoot 4. It's about time. How ironic. What a fitting name for the game. Yes, it's been a long time since we gotten an actual Crash game outside of Nitro Fuel Racing and the remastered trilogy. So it's nice to see that Crash 4 is coming. It definitely feels more modern. The visuals is great. It looks like there's going to be more customization in terms of like what you look like, because if you pre-order or if you order digitally, then you get like skins, like called like totally tubular skins or something like that, which is cool. And it's also multi-playable in terms of other characters. So you can use Crash, use Coco, you can use other characters that seems to play along in the game. So that's going to be a pretty interesting take on Crash, especially for PS4, and most likely it'll be up and ready for PS5 as well. But it's a great way to kind of cross like an old classic game into next gen, just like Ratchet and Clank. Now, what's the next thing we saw today or this morning? Smash Ultimate. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate has dropped another character pass season, and they starting off this character pass season with Min Min from ARMS. She looks dope. I need to get a Switch. I don't have a Switch. I need to get a Switch. I just need to get one because Smash Ultimate is living up to its name of being the ultimate platform game that includes various characters from various different games. So Min Min is an actual playable character in Smash, but then they also released Mii characters and another ARMS character, Ninjara. Then you had Tekken, Heihachi is added as a Mii character. And then you had Vault Boy that was added as a Mii character as well. I think it was just those three. There might have been one more. Let me check and see because I honestly can't remember. Nope, it was just 3 characters. So that's what's up. I'm not even mad at that. I'm not mad at that at all. I like that they can continue to add characters, even if it's not like on the official roster through Mii characters, that they can add other characters into the game from other games. We're just waiting on like an Halo inclusion, maybe an Uncharted inclusion. At some point, probably Dragon Ball Z, like other games crossing into the realm of Super Smash Bros. So that's also cool to see. Now, the last bit of gaming news is Mixer basically stopping operations for Mixer and basically has joined into Facebook and become Facebook Gaming. So Ninja they tried to buy Ninja over to, which is a great investment, of course. I mean, I would love to be big enough to where companies want to invest in me and their platform. But Mixer just couldn't go. Twitch is dominating, and Mixer has failed. It was a great attempt, but it failed. So I don't know what's going to happen with Ninja. Will he become the face of Facebook Gaming now? We'll see. But Mixer will be pretty much no more here very soon. So that's the gaming news. Oh, well, last bit, of course, Cyberpunk got delayed again. It looks like it got delayed towards the end of the year. People are projecting that the date is going to be similar to the next-gen consoles releasing as well. So we'll see there as well. But that's it for the gaming news. Let's jump into WWDC 2020 that Apple dropped today. Their virtual keynote looked amazing. First of all, I liked the look and approach that they took with WWDC. And they kicked it off right off the bat with iOS 14. And they're adding an app library, which is kind of similar to like the app drawer on Android. They're definitely taking notes from Android now for iOS 14. iOS 14 will have folders that organizes all your apps now. So instead of you having 4, 5, 6, 7 pages of apps and for your home pages, you can have 1 to 2 if you want to, and then the next swipe is all the rest of your apps organized in suggestions, recently added. You got a search field to search for apps. You got folders, and then of course they're all organized in folders. So that way you can keep your home pages organized and clean. So I actually kind of like that approach with App Library, and it seems pretty cool. The next thing that they have also brought over is widgets. So now you can actually take widgets from your notifications panel, whatever that swipe over is called. You can actually drag and drop onto your homepage screen. So you can take apps and widget them all across your homepage now. Weather, other little apps you got, maps, you just pop it right there on your homepage. Almost very similar to, again, Android. And I kind of like that they are finally learning. Of course, it's not going to look exactly the same because Apple's ecosystem does look vastly different, but it is still nice to see that they're learning and seeing that it's okay to allow some customization in the ecosystem of Apple. So what else did they add? Oh, along with the widgets is a widget called Smart Stack that you can actually place on your home page as well, one of your home pages, and you can actually use that and swipe through that and look at all your other widgets if you wanted to. So that way you don't even have to have all of them. You can just have one there, and then you can cycle through it to whatever you need, in the words of that man on stage. Forgot his name. They said it several times. I forgot it. Sorry. Picture in Picture has finally came to Apple as well. Yes, Android has had it for, I want to say about a year or two now. I think Android 9 may have been the start of it for other Android devices, but like Samsung and Google really kind of had it for a good little bit. So Picture in Picture is where you can watch a video while you're doing something else. So the video can still play in the bottom. You can basically, position that video wherever you want to. I can't remember. I think Apple allows you to position the video screen wherever you want to overlay while you're doing other things, multitasking. And what you can do, which is unique, is you can swipe away the app and it will still play the audio from the video, and then you can swipe it back in to watch it. That part I don't think I've seen on Android, so I actually kind of like that small bit of innovation with Picture in Picture from Apple. Good to see that iOS 14 is really taking advantage of that power that they house inside their mobile devices. Siri, new compact design. Now when you say hey Siri or whatever, a little swirly Siri pops up at the bottom of the screen, so now it doesn't take up the whole entire screen. And then when you say something or whatever, it'll pop up the stuff towards the top of the screen. So if you ask for weather or something, it'll pop up at the top of the screen. And then along with that, messages can be pinned down. So in your Messages app, you can actually pin conversations towards the top. So you can always have those ready and accessible, so that way you don't have to be doing a whole bunch of scrolling and looking for a specific conversation. So that's also good to see with Messages. You can kind of do that with Google Messages. I don't know if you can do that with Samsung Messages. I've never necessarily tried, but I think you can. Don't hold me to it. Texture, I believe you can pin messages as well. So that's also good to see. Again, they're kind of learning from Android and taking advantage of these intuitive ways of using apps. Maps. Moving on. Oh, man. Who is trying to talk about Maps? Look, the one thing I'll give Maps is it looks amazing. The design of Maps looks beautiful. Just admit defeat and let Google take over Google Maps. Please, Apple, please. All right, so CarPlay. Oh, y'all thought I was playing. I'm moving on from Maps. CarPlay has been updated to add different wallpapers, so now you can change the different wallpapers in your CarPlay. And the digital play of car keys, or digital version of car keys, has been basically launched. In 2021 BMW 5 Series will actually be like the first car to have it, but you can use your phone to unlock your car to get into it. Now, as far as starting the car, I don't know. I mean, again, that's dependent, but I think as long as your key fob starts the car, you won't have no problems. So that's also interesting to see there. And I would love to see it come to Android as well. Like, now it's something that Android can learn from Apple in terms of pushing the boundaries of tech and software. And this feature will actually be enabled in iOS 13 as well. And then the App Store has app clips. So now, like, you know, if you're searching for something, you're searching for food, you at a location that may have like a NFC tapper that will allow you to tap your phone to it, you can actually bring up their app on your phone and open it right then and there, and then you can download it, you can sign in, you can pay all through these app clips. So that's also pretty unique to see. I like that approach as well. And then in terms of like phone phone calls and stuff like that, now it won't take up the whole screen. Again, a little compact. They finally kind of taken more cues from Android, you could say, and having small versions or compact, you know, notifications for phone calls and stuff like that. So that's also nice to see that they're adding to iOS 14 with phone calls. And then all this will also cross over into iPad OS, which we're about to get into right now. And it is more streamlined, more designed for iPad, and you have the same redesigned widgets and stuff like that that you can use at your disposal. Photos looks more streamlined and is easier to organize photos, can drag photos to the sidebar and drop into albums, and new toolbars with drop down menus. So they've definitely taken the native apps that they have and really started to add like small, crucial, you know, features that we want to see, you know, this ease of life features, if you will. Calendar also has similar functionality to photos in terms of being able to drag and drop and it to be so easy to access right there. Music has a full screen player and it looks stunning, and you have the full screen player on the music player on the left with all your controls, and then you can have the lyrics player right alongside it. So that's on the iPad, and that's pretty dope to see. I don't know if you can, you know, landscape your phone and get similar features, but that's dope to see that they're really taking time to dive deep into these little subtle but very important upgrades to their apps. Phone, again, likewise, and Siri has the same similar compact design and functionality that I described for iOS 14. And then search has a compact design as well, and you can universally search throughout the phone, which is also nice to see. All other enhancements are included from iOS 14. And then the Apple Pencil now has Scribble, where you can actually like write in the search bars that you have to search for stuff, and it'll recognize via type to text, and then, you know, search for whatever you drew in there or that you wrote in there. And then you can also, it has better, you know, word detection or typed text detection from your handwriting, and you can copy and paste from your notes, from written notes, to like other places that you want to use. So that's also really cool to see, and that's nice to see that the Apple Pencil continues to get upgrades. Hopefully the S Pen, S Pen in a way actually kind of already has that. Like, as long as you write legibly, you can actually convert your text into a text file or convert your handwritten notes into text files with like Samsung Notes, and I think Google Keep Notes kind of has something similar. I'm not 100% certain on that, but you can definitely kind of like convert to text files handwritten notes on Android. So that's also nice to see. And then AirPods Pro in particular, can switch between Apple devices. So Samsung needs to make this possible with the Samsung Galaxy Buds and Buds Plus, because I really most definitely want to see features like this, where if it's a in-house, you know, product, it should sync easily. It does sync easily with products in general, like the Samsung Galaxy Buds, but specifically with other Samsung products, it should be able to seamlessly connect to whichever one it starts playing music or video or whatever, just like the AirPods Pro will be able to do so with all its Apple products. So if you stop listening on your phone and you play something on your iPad or your tablet, you can, boom, right then and there, play you can play music and stuff just like that. So that's pretty dope to see. And then with watchOS 7, you got more complications. You can create your own watch face complications, and then you can do face sharing. So you can share your watch face complications on social media with your friends and family and stuff like that. And then they can literally just download that watch face. And then if you don't have the app that they have to have designed that watch face, you can download the apps capable right then and there as well. So that's also nice to see. I've never actually really thought about that. I know, like with, I'm sure in the watchOS ecosystem, just like Samsung's ecosystem for watch faces, you can go in there and have people who design watch faces and download them or pay for some. So that's unique to see. That's nice to see. WatchOS becoming more capable, more diverse in that way. And then workouts is adding dance workouts. It's going to try to calculate like your vertical acceleration of your arms and your legs. And then it can track progress in the activity app, and it has been renamed to fitness. So that's also fitting to see. And then health will be adding more features. So sleep is a feature that's going to be coming where you can set bedtime reminders and schedule, and you can have haptic alarms to silently wake you up without disturbing someone else who you might be sleeping with. So that's also nice to see that that's going to be worked on and coming in the future for iOS. Privacy was talked about as well, data and minimization, on-device intelligence, security protection. Sign in with Apple has these security features, and then the recording indicator and status bar will allow you to know when the recording is taking place. So I don't know if that's in regards to only when you're recording, or if other people may be recording and you see that as well. So that's also interesting. Or if your camera, may get tapped into or whatever, you can see it's recording. So that's pretty interesting to see from Apple. Apple's been, really big on security with their U1 chip and stuff like that. And then Apple Home, or their home stuff, adaptive lighting is getting added. So now, you can have lighting change based on the day, to help you with your overall day. You can see what lights are still on, and you can turn them off, wherever they're at in your house or whatever. Face recognition for cameras will be coming, so that way you get notification when someone specific is at the door if it's a recognizable face. And then Apple TV Plus likewise has picture-in-picture and is adding a new series called Foundation, dropping in 2021. So that's also pretty interesting. And then the big news that they held towards the end of the show is that they're building their own silicone or their own chips for the Mac. So I believe that's a MacBook, that's the Mac Pro, I would imagine, and then the other Mac, the iMac. They're building their own chips. So just like they have their own A chips for the phones, the tablets, the watches, I think even their W1 chips and their AirPods, they're going to be having their own chip for their desktop and laptop PCs. That's pretty interesting to see, because we do know that their processing has a lot of power, but that's also because a lot of the apps are very light. So they did kind of demonstrate and show us how one of the Macs was running like an A12Z chip or whatever, and it was showing us 4K playback in Final Cut Pro. They say it's Adobe is going to be ready for it, and Microsoft is going to be ready for it and whatnot. So they showed us a little bit of glimpse of how it's running, and it's doing pretty well, keeping up with everything on the silicone. So it's going to be interesting to see. Apple is now going completely their own. So poor Intel, AMD, and everybody. You know what I'm saying? It's nice to see that is starting to take place. I know there's been rumors and hints out there that Google was likewise going to try to develop their own chip as well. I mean, they had been doing that with their machine learning, and then with motion sense is their own solely chip. And then, for the Pixel 2 anyway, they did have their own onboard chip to help processing the pictures and stuff like that. So it's going to be interesting to see if Google continues to go in that direction, or if Samsung even tries to do that. I mean, they did try to create their own platform with Tizen, which runs on their watches, and I like Tizen. So it's interesting to see Apple go. It's a big step. They finally confirmed it. They're doing it. They didn't quite say it. At least I didn't catch when it was actually going to be ready, or if it's going to be in the next lineup of Macs, which if not be by the end of this year, I think next year or something like that. But they're definitely full steaming with their own built everything. So that's going to be interesting to see. But that's the news so far this week. I couldn't hold all this news for the end of the week. It was just too much going on today, Monday. And if this drops Monday, great. If not, it's dropping Tuesday. But I definitely wanted to get this to you guys. Let me know what you guys think about all the news that's taking place this week in terms of gaming, the iOS stuff, let me know down in the comments below. But again, if you haven't already, make sure you guys ignite that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure you guys hit that notification bell so that way you guys stay informed when I drop videos. But your boy Vrsatile signing out, and until the next video, we're officially closed for now.